Hello there, I'm Richard Warner, and I'm an actor coach.
And I'm Erica Arvold. I'm a producer and a casting director.
And welcome to Arvold Ask. It's our blog that is dedicated to answering all the wonderful questions that you have sent our way on Facebook after seeing some of our conversations. So I'm going to dive right in here and ask the first question of Erica. Here goes. Based on your past casting experience, are actors always brought in for a callback in order to be cast in a project?
I would say 80% of the time they're brought back for a callback. And 20% of the time there could possibly be callbacks scheduled, but either the quality of the first audition is so fantastic or someone doesn't have time to come to a callback session, then sometimes they end up going off of the first audition. It's fairly rare that I have a client that automatically says we're only going to go, we're not going to have callbacks, so we're only going to cast off of, the first session. But you should always be prepared regardless for a callback because one never knows. And I recently had a situation where there were absolutely callbacks. It was a commercial, and in commercials particularly, the callbacks are the most important part of commercial casting because that's when all the ad agency and the client and the directors are always, or directors are always in the room. And even if someone is from far, far away, it is imperative that they make physically the callback for a commercial. In film and television, sometimes it's a little bit different, and they could have a Skype session, etc. I mean, it's always better in person, but I recently had a situation, going back to what I started saying, where there were callbacks scheduled, and all of the actors, there were about 300 actors considered in the first place and sent to my client. Then they narrowed it down to 21 actors for the callbacks, and then the callbacks, it was narrowed down to 8 people. And they gave it to the client, and that client was not satisfied with the 8 people, so they widened it up and they went back and watched the tapes from the 21, and then they watched the tapes again from the 300 with the client. And so even though we had kept the actor informed that had kind of gone along to those callbacks saying, are you available, you're in consideration, etc., because we need to make sure they're absolutely available, the original people who came in for the audition in the first place, I was really hoping, knowing after the fact, that they went and broadened it to all 300, because they didn't tell me right away that they were going to. They just said, oh, we went back and we looked at everyone. I was thinking, I hope everyone is still available. So,
right, so practically for an actor, first rule of thumb would be always do your best work if you can, right? Because it'd be a callback or not callback, right?
Absolutely, yeah. That original audition is not a practice audition for the callback. That original audition could very well be the callback, yes.
Next thing would be, seems to me, if you can get live in front of a director or casting director, always try to do that, no matter what the distance is.
Absolutely.
And number 3, not to anticipate anything. It could be a callback or not callback. I love your story in the sense that, you could say, well, you weren't one of the 8 chosen, but now they're going to go back again and re-sift and find the actor that they really want, and it might be somebody that they disregarded earlier on.
Yeah, and that happens quite often. So really, unless the shoot date has passed, you're not in it. But really, things can change on a dime much of the time.
And callbacks are significant in this sense, is that these are business people, they're not wasting their time. If you're called back, be prepared, because it means they're really interested in you.
Exactly, and one rule of thumb for callbacks, especially for commercials, always wear the exact same thing so you are remembered.
Right. So, I hope that answers your question.